getting a lot of microphone time for past president. Let's see, I'm very, very glad to have Craig Johnson here today. Craig is from Monarch Tractor. You know, we have heard about Monarch once before, and we all got excited. We kept the CEO here probably 30 minutes after his talk, asking questions. Craig is the Vice President for Marketing, does digital stuff as well. As you may know, they have a facility here in town. We allegedly are here in order for 600 tractors. I encourage you to go to their website and look at the materials there. You'll find it interesting from a marketing standpoint, a technical standpoint, even a social standpoint. My only disappointment is there I have not yet found the information that would let me convince Mary that I really need a Monarch Tractor to do the work on my 1 acre vineyard. So, Greg, over to you.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, everybody. I'm used to wandering, so I'll wander away from the mic, but
just take the mic with you.
Take the mic.
It's short.
And take the slide advance with you as well.
even better. Oh, the slide, that's, now we're getting technical. All right, I know I've got 20 minutes. A lot of us at Monarch could talk hours about our brand and everything that we've done. First of all, I want to thank you all and thank the community of Livermore for welcoming us. In the last probably 18 months, we've doubled our staff every 6 months. So we're over 400 employees now globally. Probably at this time last year, we might have been 80. We've opened offices in Singapore, in India as well. We're getting set to open up our European branch for our expected product deliveries into Europe in 24. We started delivering our tractors, which the first 60 were produced here in Livermore. That was we met that goal at the end of December of last year. And we've now transferred the manufacturing of the body of the tractor out to Ohio with Foxconn. I don't know if many of you are familiar with Foxconn and who they are. Most of you probably own a piece of Foxconn equipment. They make pretty much all the iPhones and iPads for Apple across the planet. So they're $1 trillion company. We still maintain and have a production facility here in Livermore. Our tractor roof is the brain of the tractor. We actually manufacture and assemble that here in Livermore. So the bodies come back and we finish them here. And there's been a big ramp up in staff, obviously, because of this. So our goal this year, and we will hit it, we'll deliver around 1,200 tractors about this year and 6,000 next year globally. So we've actually just had a team left. Our president and some of our team are actually on a plane right now headed to New Zealand, where we've actually delivered a tractor in New Zealand and running a pilot program over there. Next month, we have tractors land in Europe for the first time as well. So a lot of exciting stuff. I thought I'd give a little bit of background on Monarch. I don't know how many of you are familiar with it. This is one of our founders. You may recognize the family name to talk about where the name came from and a bit of the mission of Monarch. Oh, there.
Hey guys, Carlo Mondavi here from Monarch Tractor. I'm the Chief Farming Officer. Monarch is a revolutionary technology. It's going to completely transform how we farm. It's going to allow for us to, as farmers, first off, make more profit and be more successful. It's going to allow for us as farmers to become more independent and rely more on what we have on our farms versus inputs from foreign areas. And ultimately, it's going to allow for us to do all this while protecting our planet's biodiversity. And I wanted to give a little bit of background on why the name Monarch and why this revolutionary technology is going to change the world for the better. So the backstory behind Monarch is that it's named after the beautiful westerly monarch butterflies. And this is an area here in California where the monarchs migrate through. And since the introduction around in 1974, the monarch population of butterflies has declined by 99% and they're on the brink of extinction. And monarchs are indicator species like the polar bears of the north or the wolves of Yellowstone. If we can protect our planet's indicator species, we can protect so much more underneath them. You know, there was a recent study that came out that showed that 70% of the insect biomass in Europe has disappeared since the year 2000. With it, 50% of the bird population, and scientists are saying globally, it's more like 50% of the insects of the planet and the birds of our planet have disappeared. And so within the Monarch Challenge, I began was to create awareness about certain things like herbicides and dangerous chemicals in agriculture. And it was to talk with farmers, because my fellow farmers, whether they're the most conventional farm or the most organic and beyond farm, I knew that every farmer alike cares deeply for our planet, and every farmer cares deeply for their family. And so I thought by creating awareness about some of these dangerous chemicals in agriculture that we would simply migrate away from them. So I would go out and talk with these families and good friends and friends of friends. And they would say, look, we didn't realize that glyphosate and these herbicides were linked to this human health impact. I didn't realize the environmental impact, but I've got to put food on the table for my families. I've got
to go through, so. Thanks. So that's Carlo Mondavi, well, obviously great, or grandson of Robert Mondavi, still involved very much in vineyards here in Italy as well. So it's great to have somebody like Carlo on board, who's, you know, one of our pillars is sustainability, protecting the planet, species like the monarch butterfly, and also bees obviously are very important for pollination. But if you look at Monarch and what it is, in summary, really it's a deep technology. Nobody else is doing this right now. We were the first commercially delivered electric, autonomous, data-driven vehicle on the planet that went from production into the commercial space. And you know, we even beat the likes of Elon Musk and his cyber trucks that, you know, he's gonna also use for commercial deliveries in the future. So we're very proud of that as a team. It's obviously enterprise, which really means we're dealing B2B. We're not dealing with, you know, small hobby farmers. We're trying to revolutionize bigger crop production in the specialty zone, and I'll get into that. And it's transformational. This will change and is changing already the way people farm today. So between the technology, the automation, getting people out of that dangerous seat, and also the data insights that our product delivers. This is just a quick look at the people of Monarch. This is some of our staff. So obviously a little fun there with the team, but really for me, one of the reasons I joined Monarch was the people. And they even, I was surprised Jay didn't make a joke about this, even took in a Canadian, originally from Canada. If I say certain words, they make fun of me back in the office, so I've learned to add a W to sorry. So I have to say sorry instead of sorry. It's a dead giveaway for a Canadian. So I do have that on me. The other thing is, you know, being Canadian, it's law that we play hockey. So yes, I play ice hockey, still play today. I probably shouldn't, getting a little old for it. I do have the stitches not in now to prove it, and the missing teeth. So again, it's law in Canada. And obviously in Canada we have a lot of farming as well. So I grew up in a farming community. It's part of what drew me to Monarch. The platform, the technology, and the ability as a marketer to talk about a product like this is quite easy. So this is, you know, kind of a couple of our pillars with profitability for farmers. Most of them are not profitable, and obviously building up the planet's sustainability as well. So helping protect the ecosystem, not only the soil, but the air, emissions, etc. So we look, you know, basically here, more than 1/4 of the world's greenhouse gas emissions come from agriculture, forestry, and land use change. So we're looking to help to, you know, reduce that, obviously, through electrification. This technology and systems are improving greatly, even since the company has started in 2018 up until now. I can probably click through here, make it easier. So really a couple of solutions, and these are our three pillars of our company. So we have, you know, obviously with climate change and the gas emissions, electrification solves that. Labor shortage is a big problem. A lot of our youth are getting away from farming now because it's not exciting. They've seen their parents do it, their grandparents, and they're like, look, I wanna go to the city, I wanna go to college, I wanna get an education and move on and not farm because of how labor intensive it is and how it's very difficult to also get staff these days. So through automation, we're able to help that. One operator can run 8 tractors from their office, from a computer, their tablet, their phone, and know exactly what's going on 24/7. And then food traceability and safety is a big thing now. We know that's here in California and it's moving across other geographies as well. And that's really the data that the tractor provides. Cameras, the technology, and capturing that. So we're able to identify disease or moisture problems, and the tractor records that and reports that back. So rather than spraying a whole field, you could spot spray a certain area instead of the entire field if you'd like. So just, you know, as I said, we're 200 plus talented people here in Livermore, almost 300 and growing up to 400 by the end of this year globally. Some of our founders that are here, along with Chris Whitney, who's our CTO. And again, we have people on our team from all these companies that are listed here. I won't read them, and many that are joining us. I know, I think Mark was talking about is Lucid. We have many members that have joined us from Lucid recently as well. So getting very deep in knowledge and talent is a key for a brand like ours. Quick look at the tractor. This is a newer version of it. This is what we call our Founder Series. We've got a swappable energy dense battery that's up in the front. That's the bottom call out there. You can actually remove that and change it, so there's not the downtime on the tractor if you have to charge it. Full drive-by-wire, driverless operation with low-cost hardware. As I said, the brains are really inside the roof between the cameras, the technology, the processors, etc. And then a universal hub, which really, if you look at that, it looks like a tractor. There's a lot of technologies out there today that have developed new technologies that look nothing like a tractor. And a lot of farmers will have one-off tasks where they need to haul something or move something or just drive somewhere. They can get in the seat and drive that. They can choose to drive it autonomously if they wish as well. So we wanted to make it familiar to a farmer, not too different. The implements, the attachments that go on the back are all very similar with what we call Cat 2 or Cat 3 attachments back there. So really the farmer's ecosystem he uses today can be used on the farm now. There's no need to go out and purchase new equipment. Sorry, I'm trying to go through quickly here. Watch the time. Wingspan, I do have a quick video on this that we'll just go right to the next screen. This will probably explain it better than I can talk about it. So not only do we produce an electric tractor, we obviously produce the software that drives it, the automation, but also the data collection, the insights for the farmers. They're able to see this and have visibility across their farm 24/7. So they know where a tractor is at any given time. They know who's programmed it, the speed, the operation. And if there's a problem, they'll even get an insight or an alert on their phone to see what that problem is. The cameras on the tractor will actually take a photo and send it to the operator. So it gives 100% visibility on the farm. I talked a little bit about most of this, so all the different operations. I know that was one question I had earlier. I'll probably answer a little later. We can move past this one, please. And then again, it gives you the where, when, who, and what, right? So again, it's that complete visibility. The old days, you'd send out a tractor, farmhand goes out and does some work. The operator or the owner would have to actually get on his pickup and drive and see where they are and what they're doing. Did they do what they said? The tractor will actually give the full report of what was done for the day. Look at efficiencies and actually suggest ways to improve the efficiency of the farm as well with the AI technology. Just obviously this is, you know, kind of where we are here and why we're here. Obviously being close to Silicon Valley for a lot of the technology we need, but then being close to agricultural hubs. So vineyards we're well known in. We've actually made headway and moved into the dairy space now as well. We're into sod farms, orchards, nuts, berries. We're really expanding. It is a specialty tractor, so it's not for everybody. You're not going to put this in row crops with corn or soybean. It's just not that type of tractor. It's really built for the specialty area.
My name is Bill. I own this farm. I invited Monarch here to demo its tractor. We've been farming blueberries here for the last 23 years, and we're very interested in the technology, and we think it can do some good.
So my name is Michelle Miller, also known as the Farm Babe on social media. So I came out to this event today and I didn't really know what to expect. The tractor is a little bit more compact than I expected, which is interesting, right? Because there's farms of all different shapes and sizes. And so, you know, I really didn't know that it could drive itself and this efficiently. I think it was neat to see how you set it up with the different GPS routes and how you can really teach it to be automated in whichever direction you want it to go. Like, you are in control, but the thing can also drive itself. So that's pretty neat.
My name's Heather Craig. I'm with Love Power Equipment. We're an equipment retailer in Homosassa, Florida, and we're considering the Monarch Tractor product for our customers in the Florida area. It is going to help the farmer in terms of return on investment. When you can send a tractor out into the field and do a job, whether your laborer shows up today, doesn't show up today, you're ultimately going to get that job done faster without having to rely on the physical labor to complete the task. As labor costs rise, as fuel costs rise, it makes sense for a farmer to start to consider some of these alternative products. And a tractor like Monarch that is autonomous and electric, you're saving on both of those things. So really any farmer who is looking to save money on labor costs is going to find value in the Monarch tractor.
So this is a look at our dairy operations. So this is relatively new technology for us. The tractor here actually has to recognize the cows and they're moving. Typically there's safety mechanisms built in, so if somebody, a human, it can tell the difference between a human and a cow. If a person stepped in front of that tractor, it would actually stop operating. So we'll get a warning, the horn would beep, the lights would flash, it slows down. If it gets within 5-6 feet, it actually stops and waits till the object clears. Do we have anybody that knows dairy farming, that's been associated with it? Yeah, so the interesting stat with dairy farming is that the more feed they push to a cow, the more milk it produces. So on 1,000 cattle dairy farm, if you were to push an extra pound of feed to a cow a day, which the autonomous tractor runs 24/7 at night, 1 extra pound of food per cattle equals 2 gallons of milk. For 1,000 head of cattle, that's $100,000 in profit for a farmer every year. And that's not a big dairy farm. So it sort of changes the economic landscape for a dairy farmer. So this is one of the reasons we got into dairy, is we were actually approached by a group that works with dairy farmers, and they actually brought the solution to us and said, hey, could you help us solve this problem? So we're working and we will be in dairy. We've already got tractors, actually that one's in a dairy now, and we'll be delivering more tractors next quarter to really help. So we're looking at probably in the vicinity of 400 to 500 tractors in the next 12 months for dairy farms. So that's how Monarch really is changing the landscape. The other thing, as I said earlier, in my space, which is exciting, is that we've in 2023 we've already generated almost 500 million impressions for Monarch for visibility. We've been a 2-time CNBC Disruptor 50. That's 2 years in a row, in 22 and 23. We were recently featured in the New York Times. We were on the Today Show from when we were in Tulare for the World Ag Expo. And and we were one of the only, we were the only ag invite to Amazon's Mars event, which is hosted by the Amazon folks. It's super exclusive to get into, very tech focused, and we had a private invite to attend that, so. All right, I know I've got to wrap up. I do have I don't know if you guys share the presentation, but there's an interview on CNBC, and then the Mars talk is on here, which goes for quite a bit, so.
All right, thank you so much. Yes, let's throw out, give
Okay,
a
I
couple.
got one. Great. Two questions. What's the price of a Founder Series tractor, and how long is it run on a charge?
So charge time is stated 14 hours plus. In the dairy space, they're running more than 20 on a single charge. The price starts at $75,000. Right now, if you bought one in California with some of the incentives, you can get them for less than $30,000.
Hear that, Barry?
Dennis, you have a good question.
Can you address what kind of sensors you have on board?
What kind of sensors? Yeah, it's a few, depending on obviously camera. There's RTK correction, GPS. So it's a blend of like 3 systems that'll actually, if you're talking about an autonomy side of things.
Okay, Carol?
Are you publicly traded?
We are not yet, but that is the plan.
Good.
Where in New Zealand are you guys going to be based?
That's a good question. I'm not even sure where they're going right now.
Out of town.
I happen to know some dairy farmers in New Zealand.
Do you? Okay, good to know.
So what are some of the tasks you do in the dairy situation?
The biggest one is pushing feed. That's the most important and vital. If a cow doesn't get, food within a certain amount of time, they can have health issues quickly. Like literally they have 8 to 10 hour window. And with the heat we've been experiencing, they often only eat at night because they have to wait till it cools down. Much like us, when we're extremely hot, we don't want to eat. So they eat at night, so with the autonomy, the tractor can push feed all night to them.
What's the horsepower?
It's stated 40 with a max of 70. We are working on both bigger and smaller horsepower versions.
Follow up to the sensor question, can you operate at night?
Yes, you can. Lights, cameras, yep, action.
Are you
Recording
relying on satellite communications to some remote areas of the field?
We are, yes. We're actually working with many different groups on that, but yeah, satellite connectivity is key. We do GPS, but there's also the data element, so we do need some sort of Wi-Fi or satellite connection.
Trish?
I'm curious, at the beginning you talked about Carl and I talked about the nature of where the name came from and the problems with some of the
Herbicides or?
the insecticides of various kinds.
Yeah.
There's not an intersection between what you do and that, I take it. Is that correct? Or are you also working in that space somehow?
Well, there is an intersection because we can actually go out and, for example, like with weed control, they often would spray. We can actually mow and mow more times than say a diesel tractor could. Because with what the farmers will call diesel dust, like the gas of the diesel, they don't necessarily want that in their grapes or their produce. So, but with electric, you don't have that. So they could go out and mow as many times as they need and control weeds that way versus chemicals.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, thank you so much. One of our members. Thank you so very much. We appreciate that. And
One more thing.
oh, one more
Gotta
thing.
draw a ticket.
Oh, yeah, we got to draw a ticket, so get your lucky tickets out. Okay, Lynn. Okay, the number is 460-4709. 4709. Oh, you got it, all right, Carol.